And here's our recording. Whoopsie, we got to start the. Welcome to our Vol Report. I started the recording a little early. Anyway, our Pro Trader Summit, also our Option Masterclass selling options. And certainly, obviously, we'll talk about selling options in an environment like this. Because you got to be careful. That class is going to start the 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 hour for 10 weeks. We record it. We have the slide decks. You will learn something, right? You will learn how to sell things. All right. Speaking of selling, they are selling Brazil. What's funny is Brazil, obviously volatile. They got some corruption problems, whatever. That's a major index down 17%. The vol has exploded in there. I don't know what to make of it. It was rallying back pretty hard. Now it looks ugly again. So one thing about selling volatility is you have to be careful. I know this sounds crazy, but I think actually we could see volatility higher today. It's certainly possible, and it's all. So basically, volatility runs a trend, runs an uncertainty trend, right? So here's the latest thing: Trump is tweeting again. He's getting everybody more angry by his tweets. I think they're really doing him a disservice at this point. Is kind of doing more harm than good, but it's creating more volatility. So now you got some special prosecutor. Anyway, but a reason why our market was down so much, look what happens when you have like a real corruption problem. Brazil down 17%. That is a pretty big chunk of change. So I would, again, I think since there's no real fire yet, but if there's going to be a Comey testimony, things like that, I believe they will become sort of like earnings announcements where we could get a bid for vol into those events. And because we had such a sharp downdraft, so let's say if everything magically blew over tomorrow, SPX is 2,400 again. That's another 50 handle move. That's 2%. So all of a sudden now the market is trying to price, I believe, around a 2% move. The problem is day to day we might not get that, but there's kind of that closet worry we could get that. So you're going to see lots of strange things happening with volatility. So besides Brazil, there might be something here. We can price some stuff like that in our chat room today. I would look for like broken wing flies, maybe starting to sell some downside, or gamma type trades. You just buy some near term gamma and sell some long term vega is another possibility. Because until this kind of clouds over, I'm not really sure if there's anything for us. It's almost like you would need a portfolio margin for a diagonal type of trade where you kind of buy the near-term stuff and sell the long-term stuff. Now, one thing you'll notice here is take a look at the vol products, just so this is a good, they started out this morning, it's no big deal, and now they're starting to grind back up again. It's not going to surprise me to see VIX up on the day. It's not going to surprise me to see the market down a little bit today. It would not surprise me to see VIX up a lot more than the market is down today on just the I don't know factor, right? Because all of a sudden now you see, while Brazil is not it's a pretty good sized market, down 17% on a gap, it's going to freak people out a little bit here. Even though, is anything really going to change a lot? Ultimately it'll probably be a buying opportunity. We get something like that here. Because there's succession here and all the rest of it. But still, messy is not good for equities, although the underlying flow of the economy has been good, but now there's enough uncertainty that you just don't know where things are going to go. So again, I would say keep an eye on VIX. If we go green for the day in VIX, I think it will go higher. You can see higher numbers. Mostly because now the market and volatility is looking for some sort of, they need a conclusion to the event. So generally, when there's something kind of hanging now that it's in play, it's going to keep kind of maybe, I could think kind of grinding higher. Think like we had that Euro crisis in 2011, 2012, things like that, where you have all this kind of large overhanging issue, but nothing's really getting solved. That makes the market jittery. Anything we can move, 1% on a whim. Do I think Brazil recovers from this? Probably. Is it probably a buying opportunity? Probably. There might be lower risk ways, like maybe PBR or something like that. Our market, I'm trying to figure out where the testimony is, and the price around that. Right? You want to own the testimony and sell everything forward to the testimony. I think if Comey's going to testify as a vol trade. As far as tech goes, I think upside call butterflies and buy some VIX. I think that could be a trade. We'll look at that in our chat room today, first thing, and on we go. Because VIX, the last thing I'll say is extremely backward. The last time I looked, cash at 516. You're backward all the way now out to August. I think SEP was trading the 16 level. It would not surprise me to start seeing these. So the opportunity, I think, is all in this stuff. The May 31, the June 07. Upside in these type of ones, the June being backward $1. I think there's a little bit of opportunity there for us. Again, you got to come into our chat room to really see how we're going to price that. And with that, you guys have a good day, and I think this is going to be a little bit more nutty before it's less nutty until we get a solution.